is having a baby. Well, before she's married, after she's married, she's going to get a baby. And if they fool me about Mrs. Waller's having a baby right now when she gets married, when she gets a baby, she's going to have it in her stomach when she's married. Well, she's not. Before she has a baby, she has to get married, and then she'll have a baby. But they can't lie to me.
Why? What'd they tell you?
They told me, and Mrs. Waller is having a baby in the hospital. Well, I knew Mrs. Whopper told me.
Who?
Mrs. Whopper, their new teacher.
Oh, is that what her name is?
Mm-hmm. And Mrs. Whopper told me at Mrs. Waters getting married and going to another school. Well, if only Mrs. Whopper could tell kindergarten, and he is she is going to have is going to get married, and going to have a baby after she's married. She's going to have a baby, and only if Mrs. Whopper tells the kindergarten that, then they'll understand. But if they don't understand, then they still are lying to me.
So what are you going to do about it?
I am going to tell anybody, but I'm not telling the kindergarten.
Who are you going to tell?
All I'm going to tell is just one kindergarten. And you know who that is?
Who?
That is Angela.
Oh.
And Angela, this time, at Mrs. Water, is going to not have a baby. She's going to get married, and she is going, after she's married, she's going to have a baby, and then she's going to another school. And she's not going to get a baby. And I don't think she's very sick either. She's going to have a husband, and then she's going to get married, and then she's going to have a baby. And then she's moving to another school. That doesn't matter.
Who said she was sick?
I don't know. Nobody told me that she was sick, but she sure is going to get married and have a husband and have a baby. She's not going to be sick or nothing, but she may get sick. She may. One of them days she may get sick. And that's not what kindergarten told me. Kindergarten told me she was really sick, and she was going to have a baby. So if the kindergarten told me she was going to be sick, and she was going to be really sick, she had a baby in her stomach. But that isn't really true. Someone like the kindergarten told me that she's really sick and going to have a baby. That is not really true, because if she's really sick and she's going to have a baby, the baby's going to be sick, and Mrs. Waller's going to be sick. Well, that isn't true, because if Mrs. Waller's sick and the baby's sick, then the baby's going to die. And how would that feel like if they had surgery, if they were a baby? They wouldn't like it. So if they were a baby, they would still have operated on them. And they wouldn't like it if they had operated on them. And they shouldn't have fooled me, and I would have told you about it. And that's not true. Like, she's going to have a baby and she's really sick. And the baby's really sick. It doesn't matter if Mrs. Waller is going to have a baby or she's really sick. And if the baby's sick, you know what's happened. She's not going to live. And if she's only getting a checkup, she's still going to live. And if Mrs. Waters not sick, she is not going to have a baby. That's not true, and they are trying to fool me.
Well, do you think they're doing it on purpose?
No, I do not. I think they mean it, but I don't think they're trying to mean it. I think they're trying to fool me.
Oh.
And that isn't very nice.
No, it isn't. Well, did it work? Did they fool you?
Yes.
They did? Well, how did you find out it wasn't true?
I just did.
How?
I told myself, I think.
Oh.
And God and Santa Claus isn't going to bring no presents or no candy.
Well, how do you know if it's a girl or a boy?
I just do.
But you said she wasn't going to have a baby.
Well, she's sick. She's not going to have a baby.
Oh.
Because the baby would be sick.
Oh.
And the baby would maybe die.
Yeah.
She had a baby. So that isn't really true.
Well, how do you know whether somebody's going to have a girl or a boy baby?
Because I've seen girl and boys.
But who decides?
Maybe God.
Oh.
Because God puts the baby in. Whatever kind of baby the face is, He puts it in the stomach.
Right.
And of course, Santa Claus is not going to bring him no present. And you know what Santa Claus is going to bring him?
What?
To bring him kindergartens? Wood and gold and sticks. No gold, just sticks and trees. And bugs.
And bugs?
That's all they're going to get. No toys. And Santa Claus is watching out for them. Like snails, Santa Claus would give him.
But what if they like snails?
Well, Santa Claus would throw the snails away, and then he would just give trees, sticks, and shoes.
But what if they like their shoes?
Throw them away.
So what do you want Santa to bring you?
I want a dance Barbie and Dr. Barbie, and I want dolls, and I want flowers from Santa Claus.
Flowers from Santa Claus? Are you being romantic?
Flowers. That's all that the kindergarten's going to get. Bugs, snails, big trees, lettuce.
Where are you going? You having a little drink?
I don't care.
You don't care about what?
They get sticks and trees and lettuce. Don't care. Do not care. So, you know I don't care. You just don't know. You do not know.
I do know.
You don't know if they're going to get sticks and wood and sticks and trees and wood. Wouldn't be very funny. Very sad it would be.
What are you going to do if you wake up Christmas morning and all you have are sticks?
I'm not going to have it.
You're not going to have it? How do you know?
I told Santa Claus that was good.
And is he supposed to believe you? What if he doesn't? What if he's been watching you when you fight with Michael?
Well, Michael's been one, and he's been hurting me. And that's what he's going to get.
You think so?
Trees and sticks and wood. It wasn't me.
Oh, it never is. Who picks on Michael?
Not me. I really didn't. Would you be quiet? You're so noisy. You are the noisiest bird, QB, I've ever seen.
Are they good chips?
Mm-hmm.
You know I'm filming you on camera now, don't you?
Hmm?
You know I'm recording you.
Oh, hands up!
Busted.
Hands up and bust it! Wow!
Now Tommy can see firsthand what it's like getting Michael up in the morning. As you see, there is a lump on the floor